All right, I'm gonna give the disclaimer and I'm probably gonna say it many times. So this is my second take, Anthony. We'll see how things go. It's semi-bullet point, semi-script. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. But are you sure that you want this unedited? If you're watching from the previous video I sent you, yeah, this is like the millionth time I've said this, so I'm sorry in advance if you haven't. But anyway, okay. I knew that I was worth a lot more and that I had a lot of unfilled potential, but I ended up subjecting myself to an extreme level and I wasn't taking care of myself. I ended up being a very resentful and unhappy person. I ended up being a very resentful and unhappy person. And then something I learned was that I am statements, they're basically self-fulfilling prophecies. If you really think about it, in order to change your story and go towards more of the person that you want to be, the better version of you, you have to change your I am statements. They are one of the most powerful statements that you can make of yourself. That's why a lot of mantras, a lot of affirmations, incantations usually start with I am. Listen to your own self-talk too, whether it's positive or negative. Of course, with the negative, definitely having an accountability partner to really hold you accountable towards that negative self-talk and making them a little more positive is always nice, but really listen to your self-talk. Notice how many times you say I am or I'm. And it can be in a lot of different ways, like I'm a smoker, I'm not a smoker, or I'm fat, I'm not fat. Different things that you tell yourself that you don't really think about. Because anytime you attach I am consistently, emotionally, and intensely enough, you really become. Let me say that one more time. Anytime you attach I am consistently, emotionally, and really intensely enough, you become. A lot of the times, the things that we hear or tell ourselves internalizes into beliefs, and beliefs are judgments that we make about ourselves. And that ends up being our motivation, our values, and of course, our action. Okay. And then that ends up being our motivations, our values, and our actions. It's crazy how much starts from up here. So all of this started with a Who Am I project. In theater school, I had to do all of this started with Who Am I projects. So I did quite a few in theater, and I did my very first one in my very first semester. I think it was one of my first assignments too. Who am I? And I had to really dig deep and learn about myself. And there were a lot of things I didn't realize too about the things I knew about myself. I thought I dug deep enough, but as you'll see from my story here, I didn't really dig deep enough. I knew myself, but only on a surface level. I didn't ask a lot of specific questions. But here's what my identity was at the time. I always said, I'm an artist, I'm a musician, I'm an actress or actor. And I mean, that's fine. I mean, those were my occupations, but then it became my full identity. And how I realized that it was so tied into my identity, other than the fact that I was tying it to my self-worth, especially with auditions and jobs and everything, I realized that really English. But hey, this is a lot smoother than my last take. I am proud of myself. Bullet points are great because then I can elaborate a lot and I'm not like perfectionist mode. Gosh, I didn't realize how much a script can bring out my perfectionists and everything. But anyway, back to this. So, something I So I realized this, so I realized that it became my full identity partially because of how I was with auditions and jobs, with really tying my self-worth to talent and everything. But I also realized it after I graduated. I graduated December 2019, which was right before the pandemic. And whenever the pandemic happened, okay, I was out of theater. It was weird that I couldn't do what I literally just studied, but it was fine. It was time to find a job anyway, as like a backup job. People messaging me. Okay, had a heart attack there. All right. Thank you. Okay. I should have put airplane mode. Let me do that right now. Okay. Learning. What was I saying? Gosh, I'm very ADHD. Yeah, literally I am, but I mean, I do have ADHD. I am not ADHD. All right. Maybe I can actually use that as like a little outtake. I don't know. Because I tend to be a quirky person, entertainment slash education. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. But anyway, I'm just trying to get back on the train of thought, trying to find a train. So sorry. Okay. So, of course, I really needed to find a job, the backup job, because typically actors are the struggling actors or struggling artists. So, it was probably time for me to find that. And, with the pandemic, I thought, all right, well, you know what? It's going to be over soon anyway, as we all believed, of course, in 2020. So, I was fine at first, but then things took a turn because I was glued to social media and I saw all of my friends and people I've worked with in the past, they all lost their jobs, all these gigs, all these shows they had lined up. I knew some people working at theme parks, cruise ships, and just a lot of different places, and it all shut down. And it really broke my heart. I mean, it sent me to a dark place. I was so depressed. I was a bit anxious, but very depressed because I was like, wow, I just graduated into a world where I couldn't study, or I just graduated into a world where I couldn't do what I just studied. Who am I? What do I do? Like, how long is this actually going to be? I just didn't know what my steps were. I had no goals. What am I doing here on earth? Like, I was just so lost. And even more so, there was a lot of tragedy and death and just everything happening all around me too, and it just wasn't helping me. I was in such a bad mental state. But fortunately, I had a couple of friends recommend me to 2 different online jobs, and one of them was sales and marketing. And I realized too that, wow, sales and marketing, they are very similar and they can learn from each other, but I didn't learn that sales and marketing could teach me things in the theater world. I realized, I could bring theater to sales and marketing. And that's really where everything started. And something I really learned is whenever you know your identity, and something I learned is that whenever you really know and learn your identity and really define it, then all of your values, your dreams, attracting people who you want in your life, that comes a lot easier. So ways to really determine your identity. I mean, really just asking yourself a lot of specific questions that you don't really think to ask yourself. Because in sales, it's all about mindset. Expectations equal reality and a lot of different other things. It's really just about being confident on who you are as a person. And that's why I also highly recommend the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, because it really talks about identity-based actions and really breaking your goals and dreams into tiny actions daily so you can actually accomplish what you want to do. So in my university that I went to, I had So one of the things that I taught salespeople was different things that I learned from theater, such as the song dossier. The song dossier is something that I got from my university. One of my theater professors was actually an artist in residence. He's a former Broadway performer. He played Fiyero in Wicked at some point. So yeah, no, he's great. And I learned a lot from him. I'll go ahead and put the song dossier here. But basically, it really examines a lot of different things. And I mean, really, when was the last time you examined these things about yourself? And also being honest about the different things about yourself. What are your flaws? What are your complexes? What are some of your values? What are the things that you believe in? What are the things that really shape you into who you are? There's a lot of things that character breakdowns and development, script analysis, all these different things can really impact on, no wait, script analysis, I don't know if that would really help, okay. There's a lot of things that there's a lot of different things that in the theater world where you analyze the character are really good things that we should ask ourselves. And this is just a great example of one of them. Whoa, I'm moving my light, okay. And of course, these can be applied to your target market as well. But of course, you're the most important part because you are the business plan. You are the brand. And of course, really finding out your identity, purpose, vision, those are things that help you in life and sales. Now, going back to how I thought I knew about myself because of all these Who Am I projects, and I even did whenever I was in the sales and marketing company and I escalated my way up to the Leadership Academy, we had another Who Am I project. And there were more things to actually really reflect on, which was cool. But it still, in a way, was kind of surface level. Not as much. It actually dug in a little bit deeper, but what really changed me was one of my friends, Mike Abramowitz. He's the author of Grab Your Best Year Ever and Grab Your Thoughts and a lot of other books, but those are the two I highly recommend, and they're really short. Thanks to him, I've learned that you can still learn about yourself constantly with yearly reflections or quarterly reflections. But what's really nice is that he one time hosted a workshop. And it was based on a lot of the questions that he had in his Grab Your Thoughts book. I sound a little bit robotic, but not as much. I'm just also improvising a little, so that's why. So one time he hosted a workshop, and it was based on a lot of the questions that he had in the Grab Your Thoughts workbook. Again, I highly recommend. But these are some of the questions that were asked. These are just some of the questions that were asked. I'm not going to take away all the things that he gave away in the workshop and his book and everything, because I highly recommend just getting the book yourself and writing in it and really reflecting on these things yourself. But some of the questions that were asked were, 1, what have I discovered about myself when I'm at my best? 2, what have I discovered about my inner conflicts? 3, what emotions do I want to have? Oh, wait, hold on. What emotions do I want to feel regularly and how to? Three, what? Okay. 3, which emotions do I want to feel regularly and how do I define them? However, the biggest takeaway that I got from his workshop were really a couple of diagrams that he had about identity. And there's one that's really good for leadership, but the other one is based off of the book. It's such a common name too, but I want to make sure it's right. So I really love both of these diagrams that I'm putting on the screen right now, but the one that really impacted me the most was the one from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And it made me realize that I put my career, I put love life, and a lot of other things in the center of my identity. But really, they should just be a part of my identity, part of my personality. There are so many things that make up me, but they aren't my full identity. And that's something that I don't think is really talked about nowadays. And something else that's also really important is that whenever you're clear on who you are and what you want, then it's a lot clearer and a lot easier to get past a lot of the obstacles to get towards what you want. Whenever you know your why, the how reveals itself. It's also easier to connect with clients as well, because really a lot of the clients that you may talk to, they really... Hold on. This is going a lot smoother than my last take. I'm so proud. Okay, anyway. And I was so apologetic at the beginning of this. Okay. It's also a lot easier to connect with your clients as well, because they really appreciate seeing someone who is confident and clear in their goals, and sometimes they really want to be you, but they don't want to say anything. Once you have clarity, you have confidence. Once you have clarity, then you have confidence, because then you are getting a lot closer to who you want to be at the end of the day. I don't know why I said at the end of the day. Once you have clarity, then you have confidence, and then you are really... Okay. I'm not sure where I was going with that. Yeah, this is where it's a little more scripted, so that's why I'm like, what are the meat and potatoes, not the extra things? Once you have clarity on yourself, then confidence follows through, because you're really starting to be aware of like, hey, this is who I want to be, and I can make those actions towards, a better version of myself and everything. And something else too, this helps with elevator pitches. What makes you stand out? Why should people listen to you? If you're a realtor or real estate agent, what makes you different than all of the other ones in the area? Maybe you are a full-time realtor. Maybe you're a real estate agent who's been in the market and has navigated people in through the ups and downs of the market for 20 years. See, that's specific, and it's a lot more marketable. For me personally, I'm different than other salespeople because of my theater skills. I know how to genuinely and authentically connect with my clients, and also have fun with them through my storytelling. What makes you different? What's your journey? What are your superpowers? Your story matters because it represents who you are. Build that conviction about yourself. And also too, you're building a story where your audience or clients or whoever is the... okay. You're also creating a story where... Okay. Build that conviction about yourself, and plus you're building a story where you're guiding the audience member or clients or whoever you're marketing to. They are the hero, but you are the one guiding them on the journey, on the buyer journey. Now, I've gotten a lot better with people pleasing, and you will too. It's not an overnight thing. It will take a while, but progress over perfection. It's all about the little tiny actions daily towards getting there. And also too, it's not bad to have a little bit of people pleasing, because, at the end of the day, it's nice to have a legacy. It's nice to be nice to people. But the difference is there's sacrificing and then there's giving. Sacrificing, you are giving so much of yourself to the point that it kind of costs you in a lot of different ways, whether it's energy, money, time, whatever. And it is sacrificing, if you think about it. You're sacrificing all those things, and then you become resentful, and that's where the people-pleasing in the negative way comes from. But with giving, you are in abundance, you have a full cup, and you're able to give, but not at the expense of yourself. The key is also knowing who you are. The key is also knowing who you are and who you're committed to being. Everything you do and everything you say yes to casts a vote to the person that you are essentially going towards. In that moment, you'll want to figure out let me just rephrase that. So everything you do or say yes to casts. My gosh, okay. Everything you do or say yes to casts a vote towards the person you're being in that very moment. That affects your future self. And then I'm going to just put this quote here. So I'm going to read directly from this teleprompter that's like below. Because why not? Let's just, have a little change of pace. I'm going to project it on the screen. No need to watch me read. Remember that a clear no can be more graceful than a vague or non-committal yes. And then I'll obviously credit in the below so I don't have to be redundant. Many times we put other people in front of ourselves. Before ourselves. Okay. Many times we put other things or other people before ourselves. But unfortunately, okay, I got this. Many times we put other things or other people before ourselves. And those things really become your identity at that, okay. Many times we put other people and other things before ourselves, and suddenly that becomes your identity. Something else I've realized is that I really had to love myself so I can love And something else that I really learned, why do I keep saying really? And something else I learned is that I had to love myself in order to love others. I think that that's the biggest thing right there. Now, of course, it's an area of opportunity and improvement for me to love myself physically with my weight and everything, but progress over perfection, of course, but something that's really big is just loving who you are as a person right now. Because for the most of my life, I didn't love myself. It wasn't until early 2022 when I really started loving myself, when I attended that workshop by my friend Mike, and I really started examining myself, who I was, who I wanted to be, my goals and dreams, just a lot of different things. And I realized that in my little wheel of life, the relationship should be me. I need to focus on loving me because I was not doing that for the majority of my life. And yeah, it's really sad, but it's better late than never. And I think that that's one of the most essential things of overcoming the negative people-pleasing is really respecting yourself while still respecting others. Because, sometimes, sure, you can do something quick. Although sometimes you give an inch, they take a mile. So then all of a sudden that becomes a pattern. But alternatively, you can delegate something to someone else. Or instead of giving the fish to a man, you can teach a man to fish. So you can teach them, and then they can do it on their own, rather than you saving. And that goes to more of like a savior complex thing, which I'm not gonna continue on about. I'm not sure why I said that, but anyway. I guess I could keep that. We'll see. I'll have to look back in the footage. Well, you'll look at this footage and, talk to me or whatever, but, And then sometimes some things are just not in the cards right now. And Sometimes it's just having that tough conversation of really telling that person. In all actuality, it's a constant but fun journey, really just learning about yourself as time goes on. You're going to change as life goes on, and it's really fun to discover new things about yourself. But it's also about how you navigate the yeses and the nos. How do you know what will drive you? Where are you going in life? How do you know what will drive you? Where are you going in life? Okay, I repeated that. Well, where? How do you know what will drive you? Where are you going in life? Once you define a purpose in your life, then it's easy to say yes or no to people. Or easier, I should say. Once you've defined a purpose in life, then it's easier to navigate those yeses and the nos. Hold on. I keep saying navigate the yeses and the nos. I keep repeating myself. Okay. Once you know your purpose in life, then it'll be easier to... Hello, light. My camera's like, we're gonna change up the lighting here. Okay. Once you know your purpose in life, then it'll be easier to determine, all right, will these things help me move forward in my mission in life, or will it hold me back? And that's why you'll want to watch this video right here, where I talk about how to uncover your... So that's why you'll want to go ahead and click on this video right here so you can uncover your purpose and figure out what really brings... Yeah, I sound so confident. Okay. That's why you'll want to watch this video. That's why you'll want to click on this video right here where we will uncover your purpose and you'll figure out really what to say yes to, what will bring you forward and what will hold you back. So go ahead and click on that video and I will see you soon. I'm going to do that one more time just in case. Okay. But I'm so proud of this. This is so much better. Okay, cool. That's why you'll want to click on this video right here so then we can help you uncover your purpose in life so then you know what to say yes to and will bring you forward and no to the things that will hold you back. So go ahead and click on that video and I will see you soon. I feel good. We'll see how things go. Oh, I was really hoping to show off the Newsies part, but it's okay. I mean, like, at the end of the day, I'm here. I'm bringing a service to people and helping impact lives, so I'm so proud. Okay, let me know if there's anything. I mean, I'm happy to re-record, whatever. I'm just grateful that I learned, okay, bullet points are a little more for me, and that's okay. I appreciate it, though. I mean, there are some things that could probably be scripted, like intro and outro, for sure. But yeah, excited to hear from you soon. Oh gosh, what? Oh, I pressed the wrong button. It's fine, this is unedited, this is fine.